Yeah, my name is Chris Schwank. I have a YouTube channel called the Tech Jobber Podcast. We've been around for about a year and brought on Can Social last month to really enhance the clips. I was kind of doing some Opus. I had an editor, and I was kind of, especially for YouTube Shorts, I was stuck in that kind of 400 view jail, as well as on, I was repurposing all the clips on TikTok as well. Same thing, 400 views, stop. And I said, all right, let's give him a shot. And sure enough, my watch hours tripled that month, and my views, I think, 4x'd just on YouTube. And my TikTok following, I believe, tripled just from working with you guys for the last month, and we had some pretty nice clips that went viral on basically everything: Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok. So the whole process was great.
So what is kind of like the difference between me and other editors?
Yeah, I think it's the focus on the retention time, and you could have a great clip. It could be a thing people care about, but I think you really, it's like second by second, you're focused on like, all right, we can't have any gaps. We can't have anything that would make people go, on to the next one, which is obviously the battle that every creator is facing these days. You did it differently, but I had some of the same clips, but the way you did it, with your style, I mean, the views were incredibly higher. Yeah, the focus on retention time and the focus on the quality of clips. And, if there's kind of an awkward moment, you mix in a nice video edit to clean that up as well. People don't even know why they're continuing to watch, but I feel like that's what you're specializing in.
So I initially hit you up around like 4 months ago, but then you're a little bit hesitant. But then last month in November, you decided to start. What made you want to sign up for the services?
Yeah, I was in a position where I had a lot of content, and I just recorded 4 podcasts, and I've been looking to work with you, but I was looking for the right spot. I kind of was connected to some other editors, but I was always curious to what you could do, because you gave me a sample clip and it was really good. And I was like, damn, I'd love to give him a month run just to kind of see what he could accomplish. And sure enough, obviously, I mentioned all the numbers have 3 or 4x on my YouTube, getting me to monetization. So the whole process was great. And the nice thing was you took care of all the posting too. So every day I could just kind of like, just get a nice surprise notification like, oh, who's this? Oh, that's my clip. Wow, what did he do today? That part of it was very fun, and it was nice I could just focus on other things. Doing the clips and posting takes a lot of time. To get 400 views and you spend a lot of time, what was the point? There wasn't. That's why I wanted to bring you in, and it was a great opportunity with all that content banked, and you knocked it out of the park.
And how would you rate the customer service 1 out of 10? Basically, like the communication we had.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, I mean, if there was any questions, we were on Slack. If I said, hey, take a look at this podcast, boom, next day he's on it. And we had nice, great clips from a different episode. If I said, hey, why don't you focus on this type of stuff? You'd pivot and immediately focus on that. So the communication was flawless.
And what would you rate kind of like the price? Your honest opinion on that?
Yeah, I think for what you get, because the quality is much higher and the price really isn't that much different. If you break it down per day, per clip, it's pretty much in line, but that with a lot of other people I've dealt with, but the quality was significantly higher. So, you're not charging per clip, you're charging per month. So it can kind of be like, ooh, but then when you break it down, it's actually like pretty good.
Have you found like anything wrong with Opus Clips, or because I know you're using Opus Clips and it wasn't really doing you much?
So I was using Opus and Video.ai, and a lot of times I'll film a podcast and I'll really like something in it, like, oh man, this is gonna be great, and then I'll run it through the Video.ai and Opus, and both services didn't even pull that like great. I was like, oh man, that was a great 1-minute part where we were talking, and they don't even see it as, they kind of missed it. It's a ways to go. AI is not going to replace people like you anytime soon.
So what would you say to anybody that's hesitant on working with me right now, and that's probably not getting the views they want, but they have good content? Like their content is good, but they're not getting the views they want on Shorts and maybe Instagram and TikTok. They're kind of hesitant maybe on their price, or kind of just taking that next step forward.
At first, when you see the price, you say, wow, that's a lot. But again, when you break it down per clip, it's really not. So you are committing to a month because obviously I know you want to show a month's worth of views increase, because if you only did 2-3 clips, you probably hit on one of them, but it may not be to the level of obviously the work you could do in a month, which, obviously you had a couple that hit really well for me. And I'm a niche podcast too. So like for me to get big views, A, they're more valuable when I get big views, and B, obviously it's harder. So, I mean, a niche tech podcast is not going to get millions of views, but when you're taking me from 400 to maybe 15, 16,000 on some of them, maybe even 20,000, I think you got in some, that's a huge increase, So if you're hesitant, yeah, I get it, but then break it down per clip. And, if you have good content, this will keep people. And again, I believe you either 2.5x or 3x to my TikTok. So, what could you do with more followers, really?
So if someone right now isn't getting the views they want, which is kind of where you're at, would you suggest them to maybe sign up for the service and push that, kind of like take that step forward?
Yeah, I mean, because the reason you're spending all the time and money to do the content is so people will actually watch it. If you're not getting the views you want, then yeah, you have to invest a little more. I think you have to put it to the test, right? Like hire a high level editor that obviously like yourself that focuses on the retention and see if people actually want to see your stuff. So I definitely recommend it because again, it got me way more exposure and way more views that I thought. I mean, again, I thought I was like, I think I'm in TikTok jail, YouTube shorts. It got to the point, I'll put it this way. I got to the point where I'd have a podcast and I would just release 10 shorts via AI services at once because I'm like, I'm going to get 400 views anyway. Who gives a shit? So you were like, okay, don't do that. Like, I'm going to space it out every day at the right times. And I was like, all right, whatever. We'll see. And, sure enough, that worked really well. So yeah, if you're not getting the views, then yeah, sign up for a month and see what that increase does for you.